So wait, is it going to be streaming? Oh, sorry, Tristan.
All right, hello and welcome to AllertonAv.com. This is Adapted, episode 94. My name is Tristan. Joining me this week, we've got Sweener, Chad, and Jason. How you guys doing?
What's up, man?
Doing well.
A little under the weather, but hanging in there.
We got a ton of Batman this week. I'm pretty
Batman.
excited.
Batman every week. Instead of Star Wars, it's just Batman every week.
I don't know if it's
Until
like
December.
Yeah.
Well, until a couple more weeks, because Star Wars Rebels comes back soon, so me and Sweener will be talking about that.
Nice. There's a special that like recaps season 2.
Yeah, dude, season 2. It was like 4 or 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, so I got that on the DVR. I don't know what it is, but if it's only 4 minutes long, it's probably all I can tolerate of that show. So that's a good thing.
It's like the highlights, dude.
If you can cram an entire season's worth of highlights in 5 minutes, I didn't miss much.
Well, they do a flash forward this upcoming season, so maybe that'll be better for you.
I do I like time travel, so I can get behind that. Like I'll get the gist of it from this little 5 minutes, and then they'll thrust me into this world that I'll fall in love with. That's my hope.
They won't be so many kids running around. They'll be teenagers now, I guess.
Yeah, it's gonna be Vader.
I mean, it's still gonna be a show for babies, but I'll be able to tolerate it.
All right. Yeah, so it's that time of the year where all these shows are coming back. We've got another new show is back this week. 2 new shows actually back this week: Gotham and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And a couple more weeks, we've got all the CW shows coming back. Flash, really excited for the Flash coming back.
I'm super excited for the Flash coming back. I mean, we were mixed.
It's one of my favorite shows that we deal with. So, bring it on.
I will admit that the adapted notes didn't come out, and I'm just used to, for some reason, my DVR thinks like all these reruns are first runs because they say new. So I've just been in the habit of just automatic deleting, and I just happened to catch a glimpse that said episode 1, and I was like, don't delete. Forgot.
All right, well, let's get right into the Batman part of the show, where we talk the season 3 premiere of Gotham, titled Mad City. That's a little slogan for this mid-season, or however they want to go about it, called Mad City. Better terrain in hell. And they're kind of getting into the aftermath that we're flash forward in this show 6 months from the season finale of season 2, where Fish Mooney broke out of Indian Hill and brought a lot of monsters into the city, and things have changed throughout.
Can you actually believe it's only been 4 months?
6. I thought it was 6 months.
No, May 23rd.
Out like 2 weeks later.
That's crazy. That's shorter than a mid-season fucking Walking Dead.
All right.
That's incredible, dude. Because I was like thinking about it when it came out. I was like, dude, I feel like I just watched this show like not too long ago.
Yeah,
it's the usual schedule for network shows.
Right.
Network shows always end in May and come back September-ish.
Well, because if you think about season 1 to season 2, it was May of 2015 to May of 2006. Like, maybe it was September. Maybe it was.
It's always fall. It's a fall network show. Yeah.
Oh, this 22 fucking episodes.
I think the show actually this season it started with a jump like 2 weeks ahead. All right, with old Jim Gordon showing up on the doorstep.
Let's tackle that first.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Because even like reading like the description of this episode, it specifies like, oh, Gordon tries to get his lady back. He must not tried really hard, because by the time he got down there with Flowers, she was already shacked up with another guy, and
she's knocked up.
Yeah. Did not. I don't know if he just took his time getting down wherever she was, or just couldn't figure out where she was. But
couldn't decide on what flowers to get, dude.
I was hoping somebody did the math and could tell me if this was possible or not, based on when she left during the show to the time that has gone by. I don't feel like there's enough time.
A little bit before the end of the season, she had it down.
But if this is only a jump of a couple weeks, I don't know. I guess.
I thought it said specifically 6 months.
And it was like a couple weeks or something, and then after he walked away, then it went to 6 months later, and then
So she moved quick.
Yeah,
she
got on Tinder and
she swiped right as fast as she could.
Or she was cheating on him. Let's not skip that route.
It's Very possible.
Brangelina.
If you want to go that route.
Yeah, let's not forget
Possible.
that's a possibility. She's not a saint.
I mean, it is entirely Gordon's fault for her leaving in the first place, since he lied to her many times and was killing people. Why wouldn't she leave?
I agree.
Yeah. I think she's better off without him.
Can we get a spin-off show of her?
Yes.
Like Growing Pains?
And apparently Gordon has a new love interest already, as they introduced Valerie Vale. Might sound familiar to Vicky Vale.
I was like, is this her daughter, or is this Vicky's mom, or?
I believe it's sister. No, I think it's her aunt, maybe. I don't know a ton about Valerie Vale. No, Vicky Vale is used heavily in Batman lore. But yeah, what do you think of the new love interest reporter?
I'm so glad we get rid of one annoying interest to get another annoying interest.
Do you always need a love interest? Like, you don't.
Gosh,
like let the man breathe for a hot second. They're just like, it's like constantly like, here's a new love interest. It's like Seinfeld. It's ridiculous.
And we know she's not going to add any, like, I don't know, excitement or anything like major. All she's going to add is like drama and love and ruins.
And Valerie is the aunt of Vicky Vale. Like, confirming that.
This just in. Hot tip.
Breaking news.
My journalist instincts.
My bat ear says.
Yeah, so I don't know. The actress seems okay, but I just don't need this character in my life right now.
The actress is very, very familiar for me because I grew up on MTV's Real World, and she's from the Real World. That's where that actress came from.
Which season?
San Diego, I believe.
Never heard of it.
Wait, Real World was fake? Those are actors?
Well, a lot of them had
acting
to do certain things, like.
Dude, let's be real. I gave up on Real World after Puck.
Oh, yeah, that was Puck season.
I think I saw Up to New York, or the second New York.
In Puck season, his castmate Judd, who full name Judd Winnick, is a comic book writer. Little tidbit, very good comic book writer, by the way. Too. He did a lot of DC books back in the day.
Dude, the
Marvel.
Wow, that's pretty good. I mean, the biggest is The Miz, right, from the WWF. Like, he was on Real World, and now he's like the Marine 5, dude. That's a big star.
He's been wrestling for like 15 years, dude.
Yeah, he turned it into a career.
WWE, it's crazy.
So did this lady somehow.
Yeah.
How's it even possible?
So, I mean, a lot of people go into reality television and to strengthen whatever their ambitions are, whether they want to do acting, wrestling, comic book writing, whatever, and it kind of works for some of them, apparently.
Bang Gordon.
Yeah. Where she is now.
Dude, how do we feel about Gordon being a booze hound?
Bounty hunter? Oh, the booze hound I'm okay with. Bounty hunter is... Let's talk about his bounty hunter skills. Because as they showed off this, like, faux Killer Croc guy that they had in this episode to start out, Gordon could have easily been killed there if it wasn't for a truck running the Killer Croc thing over.
So I thought that truck was planned. Like, he had like a
pure luck
sidekick. You know what I'm saying?
Pure luck. And if he's been doing this already, like, how did he capture these other monsters? Like, he's not equipped to battle these monsters.
He couldn't even take out that one guy in the lab. That guy was giving him a hard time, and that guy looked like nobody. Just like crap, man.
I don't know. Maybe he's got a lot of tools that we haven't seen yet, or there's like something.
I was hoping I'd see like a utility belt, because I mean the show is making Gordon be Batman because they've already progressed too far with all these characters. Like, Batman's ready to be in this show with how many of these bad guys are around.
I would be okay with this guy being Batman.
They might as well just make Gordon Batman. Whatever.
I don't know, man. I feel like little Bruce is about to become the real Bruce, dude. He's like laying down the law with the board of directors. I also like Alfred pimp slapping bitches in the meeting, dude.
What's your name?
It didn't last too long because whoever that assassin guy that got hired, but he got hired to kill Bruce Wayne, but instead he just kidnaps him, which I don't totally get the gist of that. But
make it quick. Yeah. Didn't she say like make it quick?
Yeah, which I assume like means kill him, right?
In every situation, make it quick means kill them.
Then he let Alfred live too. Like that's the worst.
how many fights have they had in that mansion now?
In that exact same room in the mansion. Like,
They've had
so
a lot of fights
many.
there.
It's just over and over again. And why does Alfred always getting his ass kicked? I thought he could fight.
Yeah, and if they're always in
Sometimes.
that room, don't you think you'd have a stash of like weapons hidden around, like underneath tables and shit that you could just quickly pull out? And
Maybe that's how he
Also-
finally gets the idea to like, maybe I need to have like secret weapons around my house, and that's when he finally comes up with it.
Upgrade that security a little bit. This is the fucking Batcave underneath that thing, dude. How you letting anyone in?
You can always walk into this mansion no matter how much it gets busted up or broken into. It's like, makes no sense. Like,
Yeah.
Selena Kyle has her own room there. That Bruce Wayne doesn't know.
She's like Catwoman. I get that. She can do whatever
Yeah.
she wants. But like everybody else, they should not be able to walk in there. Like, I'm assuming it's a long way from the road into that place. Unless people are like parachuting in stealth suits or something. It's just ridiculous.
And now we have the Bruce Wayne clone also running around.
Awful.
Yeah, I don't really like that storyline.
yeah, I don't know that I love the long-haired Bruce, man. The kid just kind of weirds me out.
What's up, dude? That's
I
what
feel like
think.
they're gonna let that one go for like majority of the season, then finally just abruptly just end that story.
Do we have any clue or hints or anything like what this deal is, what it's going to turn out to be? Is it from comics or no?
He's a
Not
robot.
that I'm aware of. But sounds like it's just a clone of Bruce Wayne. Yeah.
So we can just assume that halfway through the season, clone Bruce is going to take over Bruce Enterprises. Other Bruce is going to be kidnapped, and we'll have to deal with that shit for a while. Fake Bruce.
Like
Yeah.
Gordon last season, where he got the guy with
Oh yeah, the face taken
It's like-
over.
Which in this episode he had like when he was in the police station, he said like when they were about to go, he had like that weird he had the same voice that the imposter Gordon did last season, and it really annoyed me for that 1 second, but
I didn't
Not a
notice
big
that,
deal.
but I could see that being annoying.
he's like, "Rah, come on, let's go."
Yeah, I missed
And I was
that.
like, wait, is he a fake one? No.
Maybe he's a fake too. Maybe he's a twin.
There's a lot in this episode though, as they kind of touch on a lot of characters in this show. Tabitha and Barbara running the club, because they always have to have a club going on in these shows.
It's weird how like things they kind of reset, but they don't. They just reset to a different version of what they've already been doing for 2 years. It doesn't make any damn sense.
I don't know what they're doing with Tabitha still either, because she was like super, super crazy. She still is crazy. I can see that
Right.
here, but they're kind of like putting her in a cage in somewhat, and in the storyline, I feel like.
But dude, I love that. But dude, I did love the fact that Butchie sent
was
those
pretty great.
people in there, and they just all got off, dude. Butch got 4 people killed for love.
Old Butch.
Oh,
And Penguin wasn't bad in this episode. I enjoyed Penguin.
No, and I thought it was weird, like that Penguin just didn't offer because he's like out of loyalty to Butch. As soon as he tells me yes, I'm gonna kill you.
well, Penguin's a loyal dude.
Well, I mean, this is still like reprogrammed Butch too to listen to Penguin.
Right. I thought Enigma had a pretty great little part in this episode, dude. With the box and the paper mache penguin.
He's still the
know,
best
eat
character.
Eat fish.
Yeah.
I thought his little anecdote was pretty great.
I hope they don't underuse him this season, with him being locked up in Arkham.
Yeah, he's gonna get out at some point somehow, and
They all get out.
they always do. And then he'll get put back in, and the next season will be like, I hope he gets out again.
Let's touch a little on someone we're cringing
we
about
have
this
to?
season returning, and that's Fish Mooney and her gang of weirdly dressed gang members. I don't know what you want to call them. But seeing Fish Mooney walk with that cape thing she had on, and then her one lackey that had the sunglasses and slick back hair and the trench coat, who might be Man-Bat or whatever they're doing there, and then the other dude that apparently can take people's...
I kind of like that dude. He's the only one that looks like
Seeing
kind
him-
of like could be a villain, like a normal villain, and not
Seeing
just
him,
like,
though, they need like a better look for that actor, or recast or something. Like it's a cool thing to do. I mean, they're gonna.
you just don't
they're-
like old men.
The only reason he's there is so they can explain how Poison Ivy goes from young to like hot looking 20-year-old or whatever they're doing with her.
When is that going to happen?
That happens next episode.
Oh, for real?
Wait, she turns to 20
Yeah, she rapidly ages. Yes,
and then stops.
because they have to have like the hot looking girl on the show to, I guess.
Whoa, that's
they
a
do.
terrible thing, but okay.
Well, it's weird that they started with a younger girl.
It was even worse to hear the producers of the show talk about it. I saw some interviews about the producers talking about specifically that angle, and they're like, "Oh, well, we need that for this show," and blah blah blah. It's just kind of weird. I don't know.
It's kind of lame. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to do that to make a good piece of television. That's just like shows how out of fucking touch these guys are.
They're like, "Well, Poison Ivy is so seductive, and we need her to be seductive, so we're making her older." And
But it'd be so interesting to have Poison Ivy young doing, like, learning how to, like, craft
Right.
poisons and do cool stuff. And instead it's always just this creepy girl, like, standing in the corner. And now you're just going to turn her into a hot girl that can seduce and kill people with poison. Of course. These writers are so lazy and terrible at their job. It's not even funny.
Yeah, dude, that is just the worst, dude. Now that you told me that, like, it's just like it makes no sense that they introduced her as a younger girl. Like, you just introduced her as a 20-something. I mean, you still have that interaction with Selena.
this is the third season. She hasn't been around every episode, but yeah, she's been a recurring character for the most part. We've seen her plenty of episodes.
They've been able to do some pretty interesting stuff with Selena, like, as a kid.
Seeing her and seeing those two together is interesting.
Right, and I don't know. It's like Selena. I don't know, man. Like, she's kind of annoying me. She's like playing every side. She knows everybody's business, everything that's going on.
Yeah, she has to have some loyalty towards someone. I don't get how she can just play every single person
Right.
associated in the show. Pretty crazy there, but yeah, there's the first episode of Gotham.
Yeah, why go into like having her manipulate plant life and just have her show her boobs on everything?
Boobs
I
are
always
better than
thought Poison
plants,
Ivy
dude.
was like a
Fact of
fucking
life.
yeah. What do you guys want? What gets the ratings? Plant
It was
life
like a
or
focus
boobs?
group, and it was just like a picture of boobs or a picture of like a fern. And it's like, obviously everyone's picking the boobs, dude.
Ratings were up 0.1 in the season premiere.
Just wait till
from
next
last
week.
season premiere.
0.1.
I didn't
Something
know
like that.
it was like that.
I know. I saw it was slightly up than last year.
I don't think this episode was so terrible, but compared to the awesomeness that was the first part of last season with like Jerome and all that stuff, like this is such a huge letdown. It's like such a step back, especially with Fish Mooney coming back. Like every scene she's in, I just don't want to watch. Like she's such a terrible
It's cringe
actress.
inducing, dude.
Her
I
power
don't
shit,
think
like
she
everything
was
about her.
bad this time around as she was last time.
I actually think she's worse because now I hate her. Going like I already hate her. So it was like,
And they're gonna stretch out her storyline of like finding a cure for her dying again, even though she was dead. Now she's
Well, I mean,
I
she's
get
like
no
the main villain this go around, so she's in for a haul, I think.
Until
Well,
Strange comes back.
well, eventually they're calling this little arc of the season Mad City, so Mad Hatter is supposed to pop up sometime soon. He should be the main guy, hopefully.
Ugh.
If they title it Mad
it's gotta
City.
be, but yeah, just get rid of Fish, man. Like the writers teased it. They knew everybody hated her. She was written off, and then they brought her back, and no one knows why. It's because it was easy, maybe. She adds
Yeah,
nothing to the
why?
show. She literally adds nothing to the show.
Maybe she just like, hey, I have nothing going on at home. Might as well come back, right?
Well, wasn't she the one that like wanted to be off for the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought so. I thought I saw interviews where she was like, I don't
Yeah,
She wanted
fucking
nothing to
hated
do with
it.
the show, and the show wanted nothing to do with her.
And that's
Here
why
we
the
are.
first season ended kind of weird without her. Remember, like we were trying to like figure out why she was gonna or how she was gonna go and disappear because
Yeah, and
you
then
weren't-
she just takes one in the helicopter, man.
yeah.
Yeah, actually, she was kind of interesting in the first part of the first season. I didn't dislike her because I didn't know much about that character in that club.
I mean, her only redeeming quality was when she snatched her own eye out of her head.
That is, that's a
There's
fact.
so many great memories of Fish Mooney.
Ugh.
The greatest of
reel.
all will be when she's gone forever.
Peace out, Fish.
Yeah, and this is one character that was created in Batman lore, live action television that I don't think you'll see pop up in the future once this show's
No.
done. whenever
Until we
it's
do a
done.
top 7 worst Batman characters of all time, and she takes number 1.
Right.
It could be a close one. We doing ratings here?
Yeah,
or
let's
what?
go around and rate this season premiere.
Rate this bad boy, dude. I'm gonna give it a 3 for an opening. You know, I always expect fireworks and shit hitting the fan, but it fell kind of flat for me this episode. As a season premiere, dude, I expect big things. Kind of like the Fear the Walking Dead did to me, dude. Like just a dud. But it's got cool characters, and I like my Penguin. So I don't have the Penguin going on right now, but
Cobblepot. I'm gonna give it a 2. And
get a Cobblepot going.
Because I didn't like it at all. I like Cobblepot. I like some of the characters in Gordon, but I don't think the writers are doing a good job. It wasn't terrible, but it was fucking horrible. Like, it wasn't terrible, but it was horrible. It was just like hard to watch, right? Like it was just like
it wasn't terrible, but it was horrible.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like it at all, and I was the champion of Gotham a lot last year in the beginning, and this is not. There's nothing. They didn't tease anything exciting coming in the future that I really care about. Like Doppelganger Bruce, don't care about Fish. The Penguin and the Riddler's locked up. Like they're not main focal points. They're just little side stories. The Vicky Vale thing is just terrible. Like I don't know. There's just what was that? Did I say the name wrong?
Valerie Vale.
Valerie Vale. It's just there's just
easy
something.
to get confusing.
There's like no real reason for me to come back next week. Like what's the incentive for me to come back next week?
So we'll be talking about unadapted.
If there's no adapted, like what was the hook to get me to come back?
If we didn't talk about Gotham, I would have probably quit the show a long time ago.
Yeah, like no, I liked last season. That stuff with the bus and Jerome was so good. Like that was like
but
such
that was
good
early
stuff.
on.
Yeah, once it
season,
switched to the second half with the Indian Hill stuff, it got really bad. But just I don't know what they want me to come back to watch. Like I don't get. What are you gonna give us, Sweener?
I'm gonna give it 3 Penguins, dude. Partially because I didn't think that it was starting up this week, so it was like a nice little treat in the stocking for me.
Got the Penguin bonus.
Yeah, and I like the whole Butchie Penguin thing. I like that Bruce is about to become a bad man pajamba.
Well, he just got caught, so he's not gonna.
Yeah, you were saying he's gonna become badass, but then he gets like taken out in 3 seconds at the end, and this was like
he still
wiped it all away. Like you just realize that he's a kid.
He's not Selena, right? Well, let's give him that. Poison Ivy. It'll be interesting to see where that happens.
Shocker, Sweener psyched about that.
And also, I don't think it'll be interesting to see what they do with Fish Mooney because she's like the main baddie right now. So it'll be interesting to see how she's going to go down. I mean, obviously we know she's dying, so she's got to get the serum to keep living. So we know that her time is limited. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. But overall, I wasn't that disappointed with it.
I'm kind of between a 2 and a 3. I'll stick with the 3 for now. I mean, Gotham. I've got my problems with Gotham that we all know, and it's a weird show where it's kind of a mess. Whether they want to be super serious on the Gordon side of things or get a little silly when they throw Penguin and Enigma in the same scene. It doesn't have like a good identity. Like it doesn't know who it should be or who they want to be. It's kind of just all over the place sometimes. A lot of the time.
All the time.
I think they're going to wrap up this Court of Owls thing where the owl lady that they showed pretty quickly, which I think is going to be a miss.
It's a huge mistake. That's a very interesting storyline that they're doing literally nothing with. The one actual interesting thing.
Burying it a little. They introduced it with Yo Gallivan and everything. But I feel like it's going to wrap up really quickly with them having Bruce Wayne next episode, and maybe that's going to be it, and then they're going to go into Fish Mooney stuff and Mad Hatter. But yeah, I feel like they have a lot of cool pieces here, but they don't play with them correctly.
No, they have one of the coolest universes in the world, and they keep focusing on Fish fucking Mooney for some reason. Yeah. Like it makes no sense to me. You have all these cool characters, and you're not doing anything exciting with them.
And they might as well never. They can't make Gordon a cop again in GCPD, like at least for a very long time. Let him be a bounty hunter or whatever. Be like the rebel that gets drunk all the time. Dude. I'm more interested in seeing that than him
as
being
soon
a
as
cop.
Thing gets off, dude, they're gonna come rolling back to Gordon to make him commissioner. That's how that's gonna play out.
Yeah, well, you know
that's
that
gonna happen sooner rather than later. Probably mid-season.
That Barnes guy, and he's like his cough after Gordon Harvey left his office. He's like, he's gonna be a goner soon.
Yeah.
We didn't even think he was going to survive his first little hospital visit.
Yeah, no, we did, but he did. Commissioner Gordon is going to happen this season. Guarantee it.
Oh, you think so? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. How many times can they take him on and off the force before being like, we're going to make you the main guy?
Yeah, which makes me interested. What's the big thing that's going to cause him to be put back on, and then also give him like the ultimate role?
Thing, like the Mad Hatter killing Thing or whatever, like just that happening is going to be the end of it or whatever.
Yeah, someone close to him being killed probably.
Yeah.
Thing.
He's got a lot of ground to make up, dude, to get back into the force. First of all, like and then to give him that number one shot.
They're just gonna be like, who's better?
Well,
Jim Gordon. He's been catching all these guys on the side without any tools, dude. He can do it.
Let's bring in the bounty hunter, dude. Where's Dog? Where's Dog at?
Dude, I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with Dog showing up, dude. Full Dog.
I want to see Harvey get a little bit more corrupt again, because that's my favorite Harvey Bullock when he's plays both sides a little, takes some money under the radar and everything. Like I want to see that Harvey Bullock instead of, oh yeah, he was a good fill-in commissioner.
I want the Harvey Bullock with the weird women on the side and the wife and just like just the total degenerate.
Yeah, whatever happened to his wife?
Got killed by someone. I don't know.
I don't know. Story of the show.
Gotham. But yeah, Gotham is back next week. Season is a go. Curious if they're going to get 4 seasons of this. I would assume they're so close to being syndicated,
Yeah,
they probably will get it.
They're going to get it. No question now.
Because they'd be in the 70s after this season. So one more season, it's syndication, I think.
Yeah, they're going to, as long as you get through, they're on 3, 4, yeah, they're good. They'll do it.
All right, another show that's winding down, Fear the Walking Dead. We are on episode 12, Pillar of Salt.
Pillar of Salt, huh?
We get to see the hotel do their thing as they're really establishing this community. They're in surfing lessons, all kinds of fun stuff.
Fishing,
surfing
up at
legends.
pier, and
surfing.
I have no idea how. I know they had that riptide and everything, but how are there no walkers washed up around that water that they'd even be that close to the shore? Like every time
walkers sink like rocks, dude. You don't even know it until you push one in.
They're not very buoyant.
They were floating though in the one episode when they were on the boats.
No, I was just kidding. Like, yeah. You'd think a hollowed out like fucking zombie body would just be the first thing floating up to shore.
Yeah, like I thought that kid was gonna catch one on a fishing pole. Like,
yeah, I was waiting for that. When he said, like, oh, I've got something, I thought that was going to be a walk.
It was going to be cool. He's
going
to pull up a head, the head was going to bite him, and it would be like, oh shit, Walking Dead is back. Instead, we get to a shot of the girl jumping, landing on the surfboard, and then falling off the surfboard somehow. Like the worst editing in the history of the world. I was over the episode after that. I was like, I'm out. They don't care, I don't care.
Another thing I never expected to see in a Walking Dead show or anything variety is surfing lessons in the zombie apocalypse.
Actually, like I didn't think that this was all that bad until about 3/4 of the way through, dude. Then I was just like,
at which part was that?
When they took the cooler of ice and fish, and then Madison is sitting there and she's like, what are they saying? What are they saying? What are they saying? You know? Or the part when
this was a really bad Madison episode.
Yeah, like
it's probably her worst episode.
Yeah, it for surely is. And then she's like, it's like, Madison, what? That chick should have just told her to shut the fuck up, dude. And it's like that place is heavily armed, and all of a sudden Madison's just gonna run off throughout that place. Run up the fucking stairs and get to where the main...
I know those guys just tolerate it. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And then they're like, it's some grangely-haired kid delivering drugs. She's like, oh my god, that's gotta be Nick! And then when they go back, dude, and she fires up the fucking generator and turns on the fucking lights, dude, Alicia should have knocked her the fuck out, dude.
Yeah.
Friday style, dude. And been like, what the fuck, dude? She's so annoying, man. She's always putting the entire group, like, in peril for Nick, right? And this was like, I thought Alicia slapped her straight, which is like,
I'm your daughter too. Or I'm your
Nick
kid too.
fucking chose that, dude. He chose to leave us, you know? And so the thing is, like, as I was going halfway through it, and Ophelia is, like, off on her own with the flashback, like, apparently, I just thought it was a little weird that Ophelia just happens to be by the fucking restaurant that she got proposed to in the middle of fucking Mexico. And then we find out, like, obviously they transported her and her parents back to America. And I was like, that's why I was kind of like, man, this could be interesting because there's no way they can fucking find their way back together, you know? Well, obviously, fucking, she flips the switch, dude, and now what's his name? Her husband sees it, and now so does the fucking rest of the world sees the Radisson Hotel open for fucking business, dude.
Oh yeah.
And now I'm like, all right, so now obviously fucking Nick is gonna find out that his mom is there.
I don't think he's not gonna care to go back though.
No, he's gonna be the king of his little enclave,
like, new the Colonia or whatever they call it.
Wait, am I crazy to think that they had the power going for a while, but then like the switch to turn on the sign is on the roof?
No, they turned on the whole generator.
Yeah, they got the generators going again.
Yeah.
They didn't have the lights on.
They had like the
Lights
power.
are
I mean,
I was confused too because they were like
Roof
making
light.
ice and shit. Like, wouldn't that turn all the power on, or they had to turn it on?
Yeah, like how you gonna like switch?
Yeah, but those
that's
lights
what
are
confused
probably
me.
on
Is like,
timer.
but it's not gonna be on the fucking roof to turn the light on. You think a guy goes up on the roof to turn the light on every day?
No, dude, the lights are probably on a timer, and when they fire the generator on, the timer clicks.
But she flipped the switch.
She fucking flipped the hammer, dude.
Yeah, that was
I
like
know,
a
that
cartoon
fired
style
that
switch.
turned everything on.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was actually a little bit confused too because I didn't understand how they're making ice and doing all that jazz, and now this is.
She is the farthest fucking thing from fucking Rick Grimes. That's who they're trying to make her, dude. Like the fucking leader of this merry band of fucking misfits, dude. She's like all of a sudden assumed the responsibility. Like she's gonna say who comes and goes in the hotel and what people's fates are gonna be. Fuck Madison, dude.
Rick would have killed all those people at the supermarket and taken their drugs. That's what he would do now. He would just be like, you know what, we're gonna fucking kill them. Like these people are such pussies. I hate them.
But yeah, they don't have the capabilities of.
They don't have
doing
one
that.
person on their team that can do.
All they do is throw blood on themselves. That's all they do.
And The
to
Walking
survive.
Dead had people that can fight.
That was the other thing. Obviously, the fucking cat's out of the bag because the Pillar's assault, with all of its like biblical references, dude. That those people are like, we got to get out of here, and then they're just gonna cover themselves in blood, and then, dude, it's like, hey, why don't you fucking run across the road, you idiots, instead of just like walking by and getting caught?
I'm confused. When did that place that Nick's at, like, when did the people like, oh, we have to get out of here, it's not safe anymore? When did it get to that point?
When the water stopped coming?
Oh.
But I don't...
Because the trade broke down?
Yeah,
Is
because
that
the
why?
trade broke down. I think that's what set them off, but... I don't know. I feel like they would have been able to... They've been going for so long, they would have all stuck around to see like what
And yeah, I
this
thought the
leader
whole
could
plan
do.
was like that they're going to reset it up with these new drugs that Nick made and everything. I thought that was the whole plan.
That was
I don't know why that
It
family
was,
like
dude, but-
booked it.
One false move,
And we, of
society
course,
falls.
we got another. I think every single episode this mid-season, they had someone throw blood on themselves to get through past the walkers. So
I wish someone would just die. Like, the only time I've ever watched the show and I've been like, oh no, that guy better not die, is when Strand got stabbed today. And I was like, they better not fucking
he
kill
was
him.
the only one that was even close to
He's
dying.
the only cool character, and they've almost killed him twice now. For
Think
no
they'll
reason.
kill him off?
No, if they do, I'm out because there's no other like he's the best part of the show, and they just don't even use him properly.
Really? You liked it when he was shining down the bar and taking drinks and
Yeah,
just so
Can I
when
get you a gin?
when him and Madison were getting wasted, I love that part.
Yeah, dude, when he's playing a little piano, man.
Yeah,
No,
he's-
I was talking about in this episode when he was fucking buffing the bar, dude, and just like sitting back chilling like he's a bartender and
that's what I like about him. I actually like one of my favorite scenes is when he was sitting on the couch to answer the door before he got stabbed. He was so calm. He was just like, "I'll get it," and then I was like, "Whoa!" And that was
they
pretty
waste
much
so
it.
much time in this fucking show, dude, on just like pointless scenes where we could be
Yeah.
developing like either some characters or some fucking excitement, man. Too much like
The other thing, Rick Grimes would have put that crazy bitch down, dude.
We're not gonna see a
Good
fucking
thought.
Grimes in this show.
No one is going to die in this show.
No one dies in the show. That's the
Yeah.
biggest problem with it. No one dies, and no one knows how to kill anybody. And those are
Just-
two main things people watch Walking Dead for: are the zombie kills.
Oh, what's his name knows how to kill.
Yeah,
The
little
dad's kid.
baby Psycho. We
Dad's
need more of
kid,
him, dude. He should
Which
actually.
I said he was the most interesting part of this show at this
Dude.
point. And
You know what would be awesome? If this season ends with that kid just killing his entire family and everybody off. And it's just a shot of
Very
him
dark.
standing there over all their dead bodies. Like, what up? I'd be like, I'll watch season 3.
Smoke coming out of the barrel of the gun.
And then
Dude,
his
yes.
his like 3 little cronies come up and start looting the bodies, and he's just standing there.
Yeah. Something crazy.
Right?
I want some people to
Email these
die, dude.
bastards.
I
We had
don't
a
want to
very
see
specific-
surfing and fishing in this fucking show.
we had a very specific conversation that they need to keep these different communities separate for a while.
Yeah.
And now they're just going to have them all together.
Yeah.
They're done.
Like, you needed to, like, do some storyline with them, you know? I mean,
The only thing that I can think they're doing to bring all these people together is they're going to burn all these 3 things down, and then everybody has to go back to the United States and get out of this terrible, terrible, terrible Mexican setting that they've done absolutely nothing with.
well, dude,
And they're
Ophelia
like-
already said fucking peace out, dude. I'm going back to Los Estados Unidos, dude.
I would venture to guess that they are going to go back to the United States either late this season or next season. And
I
this is
thought the
why.
whole West Coast is napalm.
I know that would be interesting. Well, it's gonna be okay now, right? Like it's the
Yeah,
fires
so,
have probably
I don't know,
subsided, and
that-
that would I think would be interesting. Other than
I mean,
that,
they can't even stop California wildfires now. If California's on fire, I don't know how long that would burn.
good point. But maybe it rains now that there's no cars polluting the water or polluting the air. Who knows? All I know is they're bringing all these 3 together to burn all this shit that we watched down and reboot this motherfucker. I guarantee it.
They're doing the same thing next week as we saw Travis at the end of this episode. They're doing like, oh well, this is present day Travis. Now we're going to see how we got to that point, and they're doing like a little reversal,
And
a
it's
little
like,
artsy and everything.
the other thing that was, like, annoying about that is obviously we see that fucking dumbass Madison has attracted everybody from around, like, the 40 miles. And do we really think that fucking little chain link fence is going to stop people from getting in there? They don't even have weapons, dude.
No, it's gonna be, it's just gonna be a battle, and everybody, there might be people dying. I think finally.
So over under 1 person dying next week. What's the over under?
How many episodes are left?
For main characters.
I think there's 2, maybe.
What are we on, 12 or
there's
13?
3. There's 3 left. We have 3 episodes left. That was episode 12.
Yeah, I would say maybe
We're going
nobody
15.
dies next week, but the week after.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna see. Yeah, no one's dying, dude.
Yeah, I say 0, dude. Nobody.
I mean, you waited this long. Like, what the hell?
I mean, they might as well be consistent and just have no one die.
yeah. Let's keep it real. You don't need.
All right. So closing out this week's episode of Fear the Walking Dead, what score are you guys going to give it?
Shit. 2.
2 shits.
I mean, do I need to say anything else? Like, it's just like boring. It's a big problem. It's boring, and there's no
Yeah.
stories I care about really, and I don't feel like there's no main villain. There's no deaths. There's nothing. It's weird that I watched this show for like 15 hours now this season, and I don't feel like I know anything more about these characters than I knew last year.
Right.
Which is really weird to me. I'm not dumb. I know they've like layered some things on, but I don't feel like I know anything else about them. It's crazy to me.
Other than, like,
Ophelia's backstory now suddenly.
That's
They
pretty
threw
much
in
it.
there
Like
this
Nick
week,
is
which
exactly.
I don't know why they threw it in there after her not being in like 3 episodes in a row.
Yeah, outside of knowing that Nick's dad died in a car crash, that's pretty much the only thing I got out of this.
right.
I don't know.
they're not making these characters enjoyable or engaging in any way. There's like 0 charisma on that fucking set at this point, dude. It's getting a 2 from me. And I really can't even explain why it doesn't get a 1, except for the fact that I'm hoping someone dies. I knew it was going to be I knew it was just shit. and it just made it even worse. And I know the season's going downhill when Strand got stabbed, and I didn't even bat an eye at like him not dying or like him dying. I was
Well,
just
yeah,
like,
he survived hypothermia, so he's gonna.
yeah,
survive.
I'm just like, what? And then she was like, yeah, you killed my girl, and then walks away, and I'm like, wow, they didn't even put a bullet in that bitch's head.
They don't have guns.
It's like the weakest
I think they
fucking
have one
show,
gun.
dude.
Maybe. I think they only have one gun.
Should be like a midday soap opera.
Yeah, like where's my superheroes? Like all The Walking Dead has superheroes, and this doesn't have.
None of these characters, dude, got anything, dude. They're zero charisma
They're
on
just
that fucking set.
Oh fuck, man! I want to like this show so much.
I told you this, guys, from day one casting, dude. When they described the characters, we were talking about the descriptions of the characters.
Yeah,
I said they sounded awful, dude. And here we are,
I want to like
looking
it.
at that awful shit fucking 3 years later.
Yeah, dude, I think I'm right there, man. I'm giving this 2 Madisons, man.
Ugh, don't even say her name. I'm just kidding.
It's tough, man, because she's just such like a horrible character. Alicia was like the only bright spot of this whole episode, but I'm not talking for her surfing skills. It's that she finally like fucking slapped Madison around and said, "Listen, dude, people made their fucking choices, man. Let's just move forward. It's what we do." Only bright shining moment.
That's sad.
Yeah, I'm at a 2 on this episode. I think it only happens with this show, but at the end of the episode, I just laugh and say, "Wow, this show is so terrible." And it's happened several episodes with Fear the Walking Dead. I think the mid-season finale was the last time I was really upset, and that when I gave it a 1. I'm giving a 2 for this one, as there might be something promising in there somewhere, but we'll see.
I feel like we punish ourselves every week.
There's something in
And then we tell people to keep watching.
There's
so we can
something
get
here.
punished up.
There's
Something's
something
gonna happen
in
there.
this show that
They're gonna
maybe
do
like
Walking Dead
5 years
crossover.
from now we could be like, well, the first two seasons were a little rocky, but then once season 3 hit, it was amazing. I think there's something here, but
And if we missed this week's episode, we would have totally never knew that Ophelia was once engaged, and yeah, big important things happened this episode.
you could literally have watched the first part of the mid-season one, and then I'm assuming watched these last 2 and been like, oh shit, I didn't miss anything. But I see where they're going now. Maybe when the season's over, we'll tell you which episodes to watch, so you don't have to watch all of them in the season if you're not watching them all one by one. Watch episode 1, 6, 14, and 13. Call it a day.
It works. All right, and get into comics for the week. More Batman.
Move into something badass.
We got All-Star Batman #2 right there for you. And if there, I think we talked about it in the first issue, but they went even further with like, this is like a Mad Max kind of thing where it's Batman and Two-Face and just villains coming at them, and they don't want their
fucking
deep, dark
Thunderdome on the
secrets.
road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy stuff happening. They had King Shark pop up in this issue.
Dude, that
Killer
was
Croc.
crazy. It was like King Shark, like Killer Croc,
Dude,
and he's like, I brought back up. And then I brought back up. I was like, holy Batman, you are fucking
Batman's
dead.
prepared. He's always prepared. And he gets Two-Face with that like thing that could kill him in 5 minutes, whatever that was. He's got
I liked pulling the ears off his head, dude, that were blades.
Yeah.
Stab.
Yeah,
Stab him in
that
the-
was pretty cool.
I just like how kind of gruesome and like not normal this is. It's just a little fucking out of control, man. Like Killer Croc swinging that board, dude, and then fucking Batman puts him like hits him with that. Dude, I don't even know. Batman's got a gizmo and a gadget on every part of his body, and I think that's why I like this, is because you always hear Batman's got gadgets and gizmos, and these are kind of like one-offs that you never expect. You expect the Batarang, you expect like some sort of smoke bomb, but here he's got like this fucking, I don't know, this like hatchet thing on his back that he throws and like fucking goes into Croc's chest, and then he's got like his ears to pull out into blades. And dude, I don't know, it's just kind of a cool interpretation of Batman, plus like the insanity of.
Dude, and what happened to Duke, man? I mean, we get a little flashback.
Yeah, they kind of went off the main story that's going on here, and they kind of
Yeah.
showed like how Duke, his little past with his mother, where she went a little crazy, and yeah, they're doing a little backstory to catch people up to. I think they're really trying to push this Duke Thomas character, aka Lark, is what his codename is. I think he's going to be a very crucial part as like Batman's sidekick down the road in the Batman universe. So I think that's why they dedicated so many pages to him in this one, just to understand where he comes from with pain and suffering. Kind of leads you down like the Batman path, and here he is, and he's taken on he hasn't taken on a new mantle because it's a new thing that he's taken up as being Batman's sidekick, not being Robin. Yeah, cool stuff.
I thought that when I was reading this, to be honest with you, it gave me like a total Tarantino feel to it. Like with all the characters, how it was hopping around. The
headline introductions to him.
Yeah. I was like, man, I think if Tarantino wrote a comic, it would be very, very similar to this, dude. You know, the jumping forward, back, and all that stuff, the timetable, the time flashing, you know, like 20 hours ago, and all that stuff.
This writer, Scott Snyder, who I constantly brag about of how awesome a writer he is, his run on Batman they did for like 4 or 5 years of the New 52 Batman, like, this isn't even like that run on Batman. Like, this is something I've never read of his. So, like, it's amazing how he, like, creates new ways of using Batman, as Chad pointed out, with all his different gadgets and everything. But, yeah, I'm a big fan of Scott Snyder.
Dude, I'm a big fan of Anatoly Kazev, dude.
Yeah, dude, the Hitman.
That should be interesting, right?
Dude, he looked like something out of the Running Man movie. When I was like, when he first appeared, I could see that character appearing in the Running Man.
Or when he was like all geared up.
When he was all geared up, dude. You know, because you see him normal in his like little fucking robe, and he's just sitting there sipping his tea. You know, and you're just like, it's probably some Weasley dude. And then all of a sudden you see him, and he's all jacked up, and he's got like a gun for an arm and these legs, and it's just like, holy crap, man. Like Fireball from The Running Man, dude. How he's sitting in a suit, and then all of a sudden next time you see him, he's like a fucking professional wrestling outfit, shooting a flamethrower off at people.
I've been waiting to ask this, but what do you guys think of the Penguin's portrayal?
I like Fat Penguin. Any chance I can get him. Yeah. I thought it was very true. Was it? It felt like it was a true Penguin.
Yeah,
getting everybody together, ponying up their money.
Just his look is like over the top cartoonish, which I kind of liked actually.
Yeah, me
too.
It
was like, I thought that the thing that was weird about like Penguin is that in all of those pages and in those paintings, dude, there's like a lot of color, but then Penguin was always like a black and white, you know?
Yeah.
He didn't have any color when everybody else did in all of the paintings.
Yeah,
that actually was pretty.
I liked it.
His crew's called the Black and the White, so ties in there.
So yeah, I think we can go around and score this comic, as I think they're all going to be good scores as we go around.
I'm going to give it a 1. I thought it was terrible.
I was wrong.
I'm going to give it a 4. I thought it was pretty awesome. I liked it. I liked it for everything you guys said, like the Mad Max, they're running around, and it's exciting. I like to see where the story is going. It doesn't seem like it's slowing down at all. Although we didn't get any closure on the Alfred thing yet, that they teased really hard last issue, which I was a little disappointed in.
Right.
And I would assume by the end of this, like, there's something big that has to come out of this that Two-Face is going to reveal.
I just don't like when something ends on a cliffhanger and then it's not even...
Yeah,
it was like kind of grazed over. They at least casually mentioned it like once or twice, but that's my only big knock against it. But it's cool.
And then Gordon, dude, digging through the house and finding fucking... the hole, dude. What's Batman got? What did Batman do?
Would Batman hide in the hole, baby? What's in there?
And you think he destroyed the Batcave? Like, got rid of all the evidence because he knew something was going to happen and he didn't want anyone to catch him? Kind of curious. Because, like, why else would he look in there and be like, you son of a bitch? Because he was going to try and turn him in, dude. And if he closed it off and blew it out. But it also looked like Duke and Alfred were in the Batcave, so I don't really know what's going on. I'm going to give this bad boy... 4. We'll go 4. I didn't like any of the pains with those two poison ladies.
Yeah,
I can't give it a full 5.
That's why like after I saw that, that's when I was definitely like, dude, this is like total Tarantino, like Black Mamba and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, this is some total Tarantino. And then put in there like all the time jumping and all that stuff, and I was like, yeah.
I guess I didn't see the and I think I got confused myself perhaps, but I didn't see the hints at how he cured them himself and.
I don't think he has yet.
But he only had a minute to live.
Yeah, he said a minute, but I think it might have just been a minute.
He said it could be as little as a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So.
And I thought it was like really crazy that like old Bat stabs him with his own poison, dude. It's like that's not a very Batman-y thing to do, dude.
This isn't your dude. This Batman's in survival mode.
Yeah, but
He gotta do whatever he can.
yeah,
When you have Killer Croc, fucking Gypsy Shark, and the Stone Man coming after you. Those are all unofficial names.
I like it.
and the other thing I thought was crazy is when Batman took care of the last guy, he threw the boomerang. And I obviously had other blades that came out that actually had to have stabbed that dude to hold the log into him to get clipped by the tunnel going in through the train. But for all that and the Tarantino-ness and just like the crazy adventure that this is, I'm giving this 5. Solid 5.
We got a good comic on our hands. Dude.
Yeah.
I'm excited to read
It's
this
a good one. I'm at a
Hey, if you find any more like this, dude, let me know. I'll read them.
All right.
These high-profile comics.
I'm at a 5 as well. It's just enjoyable series, enjoyable issue, and can't wait to see what happens next week. And yeah, everything that was mentioned with the Mad Max aspect, there's some Tarantino vibe going on, and just you don't know where it's going next. There's always next time you turn the page, something cool does happen. But yeah, we'll have to wait a few more weeks till number 3 comes out. We mentioned that we had 2 season premieres this week. Any of you guys catch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Ghost Rider?
It's on the DVR. Haven't watched it yet. Did you watch it?
I did, and actually, for a season premiere, it was a pretty good season premiere. And going in, I had no interest in Ghost Rider whatsoever, and it wasn't terrible. It was borderline good, actually.
Really?
All right.
Ghost
I'm excited
Rider, yeah.
about that.
And pretty much because they didn't throw everything in this one episode. They introduced some things, they teased some things for the future, and they did a good job of telling the story in this one. I don't know how they'll be able to handle it going forward, but so far so good, and I would recommend this season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's interesting because you can tell they're going a little darker, and you're like, oh, look at those Netflix shows. Let's be like that. And they move the time slot an hour later, so now they can be a little edgier. Like, just introducing this episode, they had some weird segue of shots where they show Daisy getting dressed, and like they're throwing the sex out there. There's a lot of blood in this episode. The most blood I've ever seen in an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode. So yeah, it's a little bit different of a show. And if you've never even seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., just start watching this one and you'll be fine. Like,
maybe
really
this is episode 1. Let's not get excited, Tristan. Telling people to watch the whole season. Come back next week. We'll tell you.
Well, I'm saying you don't have to watch the 3 seasons before this.
There was some good stuff in some of those seasons. I liked some of it.
I mean, you went through a lot of pain with all the Inhuman stuff.
It was up and down.
Inhuman stuff is still good.
Ghost Rider look good?
Surprisingly, yes. I'll let Jason.
I'll be back next week, and I'll tell you guys if Ghost Rider looked like shit or not.
I thought he was decent.
All right. We'll talk about it next week for sure.
All right, and jumping into the news, even more Batman-related news. We've got Zack Snyder leaked another photo this week, and it's our first look at Commissioner Gordon in Justice League, as J.K. Simmons is playing Jim Gordon, Commissioner Gordon. He's got the hat, and he's standing by the bat signal waiting for Batman to show up. What do you guys think of the look, the trench coat and everything?
I mean, hard to fuck up looking like Commissioner Gordon. From that angle, I can't tell anything.
Right.
It looks like the
Why is it so shiny is my only question.
Zack Snyder.
Like, there's just a lot of reflection going on.
Is there a ghost?
Yeah, there's a reflection and there's a ghost hand. There's just a lot of weird shit.
I don't know what that is, but
it's probably because he turned on the light and he just got done pulling the.
Yeah, maybe there was a cloth over the light and you're like, oh, it's Batman.
Oh, I see.
It is cool that you can see like the
old-timey.
green screen in the background where Zack Snyder puts the rest of his movie together. So that's kind of cool. So maybe they do the same thing on the ground.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. I don't know. It's all right. I don't love that bat insignia, but whatever.
It literally, does nothing for me. I have nothing. Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about it.
He's gonna be good, and he's ripped, so I like that.
I hope they do put some effort into this movie, and it sounds like they are. But I mean, from the past movies, and I even saw a quote from a high-ranking Warner Brothers executive where he's like, "You know what? Those movies weren't great, but we made a lot of money, or we made some money." I think is what he said. Like, and that's the cringe-worthy thing of it. Like, make a good product, not just for the money, but to make your fans happy too.
I don't think anybody making this movie wants to make a terrible movie. It's just maybe they're not the most skilled at making movies, which is the problem.
Yes, that's true. I mean, there's a lot of good actors involved.
Yeah, there's like a lot of good actors, but you have Jeff Johns joining the ship is probably the best thing to happen to this series. Because maybe he can just, like, Zack Snyder will say something and he'll just slap him and be like, no. And then it'll work itself out. I
hope he really does have a lot of power, and things aren't just being controlled by the Warner Brothers board like it has been for many, many years. And that's why we got a Joel Schumacher Batman movie in the first place. But
as a kid, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I bet a lot of kids like Batman versus Superman. Adults, not so much.
You guys are putting a lot of faith in Jeff Johns.
I like Jeff. Like, Jeff Johns is up there as far as my top writers that I like reading. So we'll see how it translates with the movie business. I don't know.
I was gonna say, what has he done in the?
I mean, he's been involved with the
show.
Flash TV show,
Yeah.
and he was a producer on Supergirl, I think.
Two good shows.
You do know that he was co-producer for Green Lantern, right?
Yes. He was a small producer in a lot of those movies, but he didn't have a lot of responsibility.
Just saying, man. Be careful.
And I believe he directed one of my favorite Smallville episodes, which was very weird sounding because it was like one of the later seasons, but it was when Legion of Superheroes showed up for an episode, and I just thought it was a cheesy episode, but as a comic book fan, it was cool. But anyways, more news involving Warner Brothers and DC product. Margot Robbie signed a first look deal with Warner Brothers. She'll be the executive producer for a Harley Quinn spinoff. So we'll see how much of her talents on the other side of acting can be involved in making a good solo Harley Quinn movie. And supposedly it's going to be very female driven, like Batgirl is going to show up and maybe Poison Ivy. Like, it's very female driven for this movie. It could be cool. Because there are a lot of comic books that are very female driven like this, where the Harley Quinn pops up in. So they have definitely a lot of inspiration that they could use.
Cool. When you tell me an actor is like an executive producer, I just get nervous.
It is scary. I'll keep it going with the DC movie news as they revealed an image for the original costumes for the Flash and Cyborg, and thank goodness they did a little redesign on those costumes.
That Flash costume.
Awesome.
Like the Flash costume?
Oh, it looks so cool.
It's so weird.
It's not authentic by any means.
It looks like a Power Ranger costume got blown up, and I already knew the current costume looks like Power Ranger-ish. But
dude, at first I thought it was Master Chief for a second.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, the way the armor is layered doesn't look too Power Ranger-y. It looks more like, I don't know. Like,
the armor on the arms are a little bit different.
Yeah, it's kind of got like a medieval armor kind of vibe.
Where are those sitting? Because I would like to have one.
The Cyborg one or the Flash?
Whoever did the costumes, it's their like warehouse.
Sitting in their vault, dude. Sitting in their warehouse getting dust. I will wear that around the street.
That version of Cyborg is way better than what I saw in that trailer for Justice League.
Hell yeah! Like 1,000 times better, dude.
So I would have definitely taken that because that's an upgrade. But what do I know?
Yeah, that CG is awful. But
who knows? Did you guys see that on the Civil War? That Black Panther, his entire outfit was CGI the entire movie.
Was it?
It was no practical effects. I guess on the Blu-ray they had like a behind the scenes, and they discussed that he wore the suit when he filmed on set, but they CGI'd it the entire way, which is kind of insane.
I mean, they CGI'd on top of the suit.
Yeah, on top of what he wore to make his. So like when you see him in the movie wearing the suit, it's all CGI, which is kind of insane. Why the fuck not, dude? You got a $300 million budget, dude. You got to get people paid.
Did you see how big the budget is going to be on the Jurassic World 2 movie?
No, what is it?
Something really high.
Like 400 million or something crazy.
We don't care. We're just going to make a really crazy.
Dude, when that last movie made $1 billion, it's like,
yeah,
who cares?
That's why they do that. That's how the Bond movie had the super high budget because of the previous movie making a lot of money.
Yeah, I want as many dinosaurs as they can cram into that thing, so that's cool.
And closing out the news, you guys watched the Emmys this week as Game of Thrones just won a lot of awards.
Swept up, dude, for...
And George Martin was there, and in an interview, he revealed that he has thousands of pages written of early history of Westeros, the early history of Westeros, hinting at a possible origin spin-off Game of Thrones that we've talked about already that they could possibly do. There's already early books like The Hedge Knight and everything that Amy could talk about for hours. That they
that
could
guy needs to stop talking and stop being public until
He
his
needs to
last
start-
book is done.
He needs to finish his books. He's got two
Yeah.
more to go.
You're writing all this prehistory. What? It makes me wonder if like HBO is like, hey, dude, this show is gonna end this season. Can you write us something else so we got it going? Like we can make some more money off this. And he's like working on scripts for the
Yeah,
fucking.
it's totally like he doesn't care about finishing
Well,
these
he
books.
said
needs to keep
he
the
said
show
like
going.
these pages were like stuff he wrote like 10, 15 years
when he was a baby.
when he
when he was in his
just-
70s.
When he could write.
I guess, yeah.
Now he can't do anything.
It would be nice if he finished his book because I'm catching up to him. I just finished the third book last week, so now I'm on the fourth book. And that fourth book, the third book is like 950 pages. This fourth book is only like 600 pages. So I'm gonna fly through this one.
Yeah, I think Amy said she reads those books in a weekend, just for fun.
Yeah,
So
it's a fun read. I really love the more elaborate story that I'm getting with these books. It's cool. I recommend them.
I like the TV show. Pictures.
A lot easier.
Yeah, I feel like that's way too many characters and stuff. I would have to take notes.
Well,
Sounds like
thankfully,
work.
at the very end of each book, they show each house and they like break down every single character, like who they are and the little backstory in each character in case you forgot. So when you get to the end, you're like, oh yeah, and I can read the whole Lannister family tree of characters I had no idea existed and things like that. It's pretty cool.
Interesting.
All right, guys, that is it for this week on Adapted. Be sure to check out the Block Party right after us on all of our streaming sites as we're on youtube.com/AllertonAvLive, facebook.com/AllertonAvLive, twitch.tv/AllertonAv. Subscribe to each one of those and never miss another one of our podcast videos. Anything you throw on AllertonAv.com. You'll get it. Join us next week for Adapted, episode 95, as we will continue Fear the Walking Dead, Gotham, and we've got Civil War II, issue number 5 is finally out.
Oh, nice.
After, I feel like it's been 2 months since we read one of those issues.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh,
I'll have to read the
It's like a
previous
mid-season
one.
break on that.
And they already said that I think the final issue is not until like 2017 when we'll finally get the end of the series. It's getting delayed big time, so that's fun. Just like Secret
Right.
Wars, where it just stretches out forever, but that's yep.
Damn. Well, they got a lot of stories in between there, you know, with all the other books that are going on, dude.
They do.
Someone probably wrote something stupid and now they got to fix it.
I
Doesn't
thought
tie into the universe.
I think I read something where this issue, like, it's a big game changer in this issue, like, and they said avoid social media because someone's probably going to ruin it on there. So read up Civil War number 2, issue 5, and we'll talk about it next week and see how impactful it really was.
All right.
All right. For myself, Tristan, Jason, Chad, and Sweener, we'll catch you next week.
See you guys.
Bye,
Peace.
everybody.
Get ready for Fear the Walking Dead.
What was that?